Hello everyone, this is Stephanie. Welcome to another video. So today we're going to bezel a 12mm cushion cut fancy stone or 12mm square Rivoli. Now I've heard it called both, but the number is the same, and I'll get into that more when we get to the materials list. But this is what it looks like. It's a beautiful stone. These are from my stash. I love it. I love them because they're small enough that you can like put several together and make a bracelet, or you can, make a ring out of it. It's not a huge stone. It's really pretty. So anyway, I made these earrings out of it. And these earrings were kind of inspired by a little trip I took to an estate jewelry sale. And I saw these beautiful earrings that, just kind of held in this direction. And I just thought they were so pretty. And so I thought, I've got to make something that looks like really estate jewelry. So here's holding it sort of the square way. And then you can even hold it, and this way as well. I thought I'd make maybe try a little necklace. This isn't attached. I just put a couple of, a chain on it. This is, I think, from Eureka's last collection. And this is a little drop that I had in my stash. So I thought it would make a pretty necklace. And I know you always ask me to show a picture, so I will show a picture. You know how much I love doing that. So here we go. This is what it looks like on, and this is held in this orientation, this way. So either way, it's really very pretty. It's not a huge earring, and it's very light. All right, so there you go. I'm going to clear this off. We're going to get a materials list going, and we'll get started. Now, don't forget to like and subscribe. If you enjoy my videos, I really would appreciate that. Don't forget, all materials will be in the description box below the video. Sizes, colors, shapes, everything you need to make these earrings or pendant, and places you can purchase beads if you like. All right, so I'm going to clear this off and we'll get started. Okay, let's get a materials list going. So you need 2 of the fancy stones or square Rivolis, and I will put it in the description box below the video so there's no doubt on what the stone is. Some 3mm Bicones, 11/0 Delicas, 11/0 seed beads. I'm using a 2mm fire polish here, and these are just regular 2mm fire polish, and not the True 2. They're actually a little bit bigger than the True 2, which is interesting. On this one, I used a 3mm because I know that we're more likely to have a 3mm. So the difference here, I'll show you, between the two is that, so the 2 and the 3. So you might have to, if you use the 3mm, you might have to adjust the number of beads you put around the stone, the fire polished beads. Okay, so you'll need a 15/0 seed bead. I've got 2 Leverback ear wires, stop bead, 8-pound Fireline size. I'm using an 11 beading needle because you're going through some 15/0s. You might even need a 12. You never know. All right, so again, all materials, sizes, colors, shapes, amounts, everything will be in the description box below the video. So don't forget to click the down arrow, the show more, and the box will open and everything will be there. All right, so I am going to clear this off and we're going to get started. Okay, let's get started. So thread your needle with about 36 inches of thread. Put on a stop bead about in the middle. So you can have half of your thread on one side of the stop bead and half on the other. It'll be a little bit longer on the needle side, of course, but that's okay. So I've put on my needle and I've dropped down to my stop bead 5 11/0 Delicas and 4 15/0 seed beads, and I did that 4 times, so a total of 4 times each. So 5 Delicas, 4 seeds, 5 Delicas, 4 seeds, 5 Delicas, 4 seed beads, 5 Delica, 4 15/0 seed beads. Just like that. I'm going to make those into a circle. By sewing up the first Delica. Like that. Now I'm going to start a peyote bezel. So exiting this Delica, I'm going to skip the next one. Let me tighten up a little bit. I'm going to skip this one and sew through this one. I'm going to make sure that bead I put on pops up onto the previous bead. The first few beads are always a little wonky. So that's what it looks like. Can I pull in a teeny bit more? Okay. I'm going to pick up a Delica. I'm exiting this Delica. I'm going to skip this one and sew through the next one. Just hold it with my thumb and give it a pull, and make sure, again, that everybody is sitting on top like that. So that's exactly what it should look like. Now I'm going to pick up a 15/0. I'm going to skip the next 15-0 and sew through the next 2 15-0s. Like that. I want to make sure that pops up as well. Here we go. Pick up a 15-0, skip the next 15-0 and sew through the next Delica. And do that all the way around. Let's do that again. Pick up a Delica, exiting this Delica, skip this one, sew through the next one. Pick up a Delica, exiting this Delica, skip this one, sew through this one. Pick up a 15-0, skip the next 15-0 and sew through the next 2 15-0s. Get my needle in there. There we go. Like that. Pick up a 15-0, sew through the next. Skip this 15-0, sew through the Delica. Okay, do that a couple more times and then meet me at the end and we'll step up together. Okay, coming down to the last corner, so I'm picking up a 15-0. I'm exiting this Delica. I'm going to skip the next 15-0 and sew through the next 2 15-0s. I'm going to pick up a 15-0. I'm going to skip this 15-0 right here, and then I'm going to sew up through this Delica. And get my needle in there. Here we go, and the one on the diagonal. So that's our step up. Okay, so now we have all our beads on to start the next round. So pick up a Delica, just sew through every sticking out Delica until you get to the 15-0. Go through the 15-0, putting on a Delica, pick up one 15-0, and you're just going to put one in the corner. So from here to here, like that. And you could start putting your thumb in a little bit. You don't have to pull it super tight, but you can kind of curve it a little bit. So then we're going to go Delica, Delica, just sewing through the up beads, Delica, until we get to the corners, and then you're just going to put one 15-0 in the corner. Like that. Delica, 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 15-0 in the corner, like that. I might as well go all the way around. Delica, Delica, one more time. Then a 15-0 between the 2 15-0s, like that, and then a Delica. I'm going to show you the step up. So here we're exiting the 15-0, so you're going to skip this one, pick up a Delica, sew through the next Delica and the Delica on the diagonal. Get my needle in there. There we go. Now you're stepped up. Alright, so get that round done. Meet me back here and we'll continue back. So this is what I have. I'm exiting this, I stepped up and exited the 11-0. So now I'm going to put that needle down, or that thread, or if you want to, we're going to switch to the front. So either take that needle off or thread another needle with the other thread. So when I turn it around, so here I'm in the back, going to the front, right here. So my thread is exiting this 11-0 right here. Just going to sew up through that first 15-0. Get my needle in there. There we go. Just to get my needle to the front of the bezel. Alright, and then I'm going to put one 15-0 through each up bead. So here I'm exiting this 15-0, just going to go through this 15-0. Pick up a 15-0. So through the next Delica, pick up a 15-0, sew through the next Delica. Just going to do that all the way around. And as I'm doing it, I'm just, I'm giving it a little pull. You don't need to, pull it super, super tight, but just enough so it snugs in. So put a 15-0 through every up bead, and then meet back here at the end, and we'll step up. We're back. So coming down to the end, so 15-0, and all the up beads, so through this Delica. And now we're going to step up weirdly in the corner, but that's just where my step up comes out, so that's okay. So here I'm exiting the Delica, pick up a 15-0, you're going to sew through, so that's the next up bead right here, this 15-0, and the one on the diagonal, which is going to be the corner bead, like that. Let's hold that there for a second. You'll see it very closely when you're actually working on your piece. It's easy to find. So here I've stepped up, and then my thread is now exiting that little corner bead. So let's just see how we're doing as far as the stone goes. So here I'm going to turn it around to the back, and what I do is I give a little pull, and I usually keep a needle on each thread. That way I'm not, I don't have to keep taking the needle off the thread. So when I just go like this, it fits in there. It's not going to stay. This is what the front is going to look like. Okay, so you can put your stone in now. Just hold it with your thumb and your forefinger. You should be exiting an 11-0. We're on the back now. I'm going to pick up a 15-0 and put one 15-0 through every up bead. So 15-0 through there, then through this 15-0 here, through the next one, the next one. You're going to do all the way around, just holding it with your thumb and your forefinger, and it'll tighten up as we go around. So just go all the way around and then meet me at the end, and we'll step up. Okay, coming down to the end, getting ready to step up. So here I've put on the 15-0, and I'm going to pick up a 15-0, move the cat hair. I'm exiting this Delica, just going to sew through the next Delica, and the 15-0 that's on the diagonal right there. Okay, so here stepping up, and it's staying pretty well now. So if I look at the front, this is what the front looks like. Here's the back. So we're going to do one more round on the back. So we're going to pick up a 15-0. We're going to sew through all the 15-0s, except here we're going to sew through this one to start with. Okay, and then you're just going to go right through the next 15-0 in the corner without any beads on your thread, and then pick up a 15-0, sew through the next 15-0, pick up another 15-0, sew through the next one, pick up another one, sew through the next one, and now you're going to just sew through the next 15-0 without any beads on your thread. Just going to pull the corner in a little bit, and then just keep doing that all the way around. Then meet me at the end, and we'll continue. Okay, coming down to the end, I'm just going to step up with you. So here, I'm exiting 15-0, just going to sew through the next 15-0 and the one on the diagonal. Now I am done with the back, and I just want to move my thread. So I'm just going to move my thread to the Delica area. So I'm just going to sew through the next 15-0, the next 15-0, everything on the diagonal, through the 15-0, like that. And then I'm just going to exit a Delica here. I'm going to come right to the center Delica, like that. And you know, if you have enough thread left over, you can use that thread to do some embellishment. So get that done, and then we're going to come to the front and do a little bit on the front. Okay, so we're on the front. So you can leave the front this way. You can put another round of 15-0s on, but I'm going to do sort of this little modified square here. I mean, it's a little bit quatrefoil looking, but it's more, I think it's more of like a modified square. Here it is if you just want to leave it just plain, you do that. So I'm going to do this one. So we're exiting this center. Remember, we came out of this center seed bead that's right in the corner, this guy right here. So I want to just move my thread till I get to this bead. I want to come out here. So the way I'm going to do that is, let me see if I can pull it a teeny bit more. Okay, I'm just going to sew on the diagonal through the next 15-0, like that. And then I'm going to sew up through this 15-0, like that. I'm going to pick up a 15-0. I'm going to add that one on, like so, through the next 15-0. I'm going to pick up a 15-0. So through the next 15-0. Like that. Now I want to pass the corner. I don't want to put any beads in the corner. I want to get to this bead over here. So just sew on the diagonal, just put your thread through this one. Let's see, I'm going to go through these two just because they look like the easiest to get through. Then up this one. So I'm just sewing through the beads till I get to where I want to be, like that. Pick up a 15-0, sew through the next 15-0. Pick up a 15-0, sew through the next 15-0, like that. So you're going to do that all the way around until you get back to where we started, and then we'll continue. Okay, coming down to the last side, so I thought we'd do that together. So I'm going to keep adding my 15-0s. So here's my last 15-0 on this side. And so what I've done here is I've kind of decreased in to make sort of a little point, you see. So all I'm going to have to do is put one bead here, one here, and so on. So here I am, I'm at the edge, so I want to skip all these beads again till I get to this bead right here, so I can put a bead here. So this little section. So I'll just get you through. You know, you just want to just sort of keep everything on the diagonal. So here, come through that one on the diagonal. Now you have two beads here that are next to each other, and they're fine to go through. You know, one right next to each other because the thread path is there. And then here I'm going back on the diagonal here and through this one. Doing one at a time is probably the best because, you know, the way the beads are facing, it's hard to get through several at a time. So here I'm going to sew through this one like that. Pick up a 15-0 and you're going to sew through the next 15-0 to get that sort of little point in there. So there you go. That's how that looks. And then you're just going to continue that all around, all the way around here. I'll do it with you one more time. So sewing on the diagonal here, on this, through the next one on the diagonal. I'm going to pop through these two right there, up through this one. Get my needle and I'll get my thumb out of the way. And at this point you might need a size 12 beading needle, you might not. I'm still working on my 11, I'm not having any problems. On the diagonal, up through this guy, and I'm going to pick up a 15-0 and sew through the next 15-0. So I get that little point like that. And that's what you're going to do all the way around. Okay, so get that done and then come on back and we'll embellish. Go back and I've got my last little point on. So now I just want to move this thread out of the way. So I'm just going to sew on the diagonal, just going through the beads. Just want to get through the Delicas. We'll go through. Actually, at this point we can actually reverse direction and go right through a Delica like that. And here. And if for some reason your bezel is loose, you can sew all the way. You can sew around a little bit, around the Delicas a little bit. You just want to make sure you leave this spot open because we're going to put a bead there. Okay, it should be nice and tight. So I don't really think you'll have to do that. All right, so just get that done and then come on back and we'll start playing with the embellishment. You're back. So let me back out a little bit so I can show you where we are in here. So we're going to do a little embellishment. So you want to just clip this one thread. So if you have enough thread left over and you want to use it for your embellishment, just clip one. So here I'm exiting a Delica. So just sew a couple of beads and then you go reverse direction. We've done that before. And at this point you can just clip this thread off or use your thread burner. Grab it and I'm just going to burn off this thread because I don't really need this one. Okay? All right. So now here's my other thread, and I have my needle on that thread. So I'm exiting a Delica. So get your fire polished beads ready and your bicones and your 11/0 seed beads. So here I'm exiting a center, sort of a center Delica here. So we're going to do a little stitch in the ditch. And we want that stitch in the ditch to come out in the corner. So we want the ditches that we're using are going to be in line with this 15/0. So I'm going to pick up an 11/0. Exiting this Delica right here. I'm just going to sew through the next Delica. Like that with my 11/0. Just going to put on my first stitch in the ditch, pick up an 11/0, sew through that 15/0. Like that. I have two on. I'm going to pick up my fire polished bead. I'm exiting this little 15/0. Just going to hop over to the next 15/0. Like that. And don't worry about it if it's looking like it's not sitting quite right. You can just take your needle on and sort of straighten it out. It's going to straighten out as we go along anyway. That's what it looks like. Let me back off just a teeny bit. Okay. Pick up an 11/0. So through the next Delica. That's all we're going to do all the way around. 11/0. Through the next Delica. Just make sure you're staying in the proper line so that you end up coming out of this 15/0. 11/0 through the 15/0. Pick up a fire polish bead. So through that next 15/0. This is what it looks like so far. Okay, so just keep doing that all the way around and then come back and we'll continue. Okay, coming down to the end, putting my last fire polish bead on. Like that. And then we have one more 11/0 that we have to pop in there. So through this one. And then up through the next 11/0. This is what I have so far. And it's pretty just like that. I think that would make a nice earring or a pendant. But we're going to continue. So to your 3mm bicones, add a 3mm bicone in between those two 11/0s. So the two stitches in the ditch, 11/0 through the fire polish, 11/0 through the next 11/0, 3mm bicone through the next 11/0, 3mm bicone through the next 11/0, 11/0 through this guy, 11/0 through this one. You get the idea. That's what we're going to do all the way around. And if there's something else you want to put in there, why not? Put some rondelles or 8/0s or whatever you like in there. All right, so I'm just going to do that all the way around and then come on back and we'll go around again. Okay, coming down to the end. So here I'm putting on my last bicone through this 11/0. So I have two bicones on every side. Just going to sew through the next bicone and up the next two 11/0s like that. So now I'm going to put on another embellishment. So I'm going to pick up 3 11/0s, and if you're doing a 4mm bicone in the center, I think I picked up to get around to encircle that 3mm fire polish bead. I think I put on two 15/0s, an 11/0 and two 15/0s to get around it. But you can, whatever fits and whatever looks good is fine. But I'm just using 3 11/0s because I'm using that 2mm fire polish. just going to sew through the next 11 oh, and that's going to encircle that. Okay, so here I'm going to sew through the next 11 oh, like that, and through the bicone. Now, you know, all of this is optional, but I'm just going to go for all of it. So 3 15-ohs. So I'm exiting this bicone, pick up 3 15-ohs, sew through the next bicone. And make sure that sits up like a picot. And then I'm going to sew through the next 2 11-ohs. There we go. Pick up 3 11-ohs, sew down the next 2 11-ohs to encircle that fire polish bead through this guy. So through the 3mm bicone, 3 15-ohs, sew through the next 3mm bicone, and then you have a little picot on that one. So you're going to do it again until you get to the last 2 bicones, because we're going to be doing the earring that's held like a square. So I'm going to change it a little. That's going to be our connection point. If you are connecting, you know, and you want this more of this diamond shape, then just connect your ear wire through the these 2 11-ohs, put on, like say 11-oh, your ear wire 11-oh down to these 11-ohs. So you're going to connect right here. So you put your ear wire right here. All right, so just come on, meet me at the last one and we'll put the ear wire on. Okay, we're coming down to the end, and I thought I'd put 2 ear wires on so you can see, because it's just a demonstration piece. So I want you to be able to do it either way. So here I've put, you know, I have all my little picot on. I'm coming through the next 2 11-ohs, and instead of putting 3 11-ohs on and going on after that, we'll put on, let's say, an 11-oh, a 15-oh, the ear wire, a 15-oh, and an 11-oh, and sew through the next 2. Let's see if I can get this on properly. There you go. So then you can do it just like that, or you can put on, you can leave those 15-ohs off. I'm not exactly sure whether you need, if you really need those 2 15-ohs right there. I think just the 11-ohs would be just as good. Okay, so you can do it that way. So here's your earring, that way, and then let's keep going. So I'm going to go sew through, and then of course you want to reinforce that. So I'm going to sew through this guy, and then I'm going to pick up what I do here. Okay, I'm going to pick up an 11-oh. I think I did do a 15-oh here. The ear wire. Ouch. A 15-oh. An 11-oh. I'm going to sew through this one. Get that in. There we go. Like that. And then you want to just, you know, you're just going to reinforce this. So to do that, you're going to probably, let's see, go around. We will go through, getting tight here. And not tight because it's, there's no room. It's just that it's a nice tight bezel. I'm just going to go through that 11-oh, maybe back up through this 11-oh on the bezel. Can I switch up there? Let's see. Yep. Okay. I'm just going to pop my needle back up through the bicone and all the beads on the ear wire. Again, I'm not sure I needed those 15-ohs, but you'll play with it. So here, just going through the ear wire now, and then down this side. I know that's hard to see, but you'll see it as you're doing it. You see I'm just coming, I just went around the whole ear wire. See how that tightens it up? Through this guy. And then wherever you can get through at this point, you can actually just switch, you know, change direction right here. And you're pretty much on that way. So here we have here's our earring. All right, so you're done. So here we go. We have our double earring here. Actually, it looks very pretty both ways. So I like it with the, actually the blue Delicas look pretty nice. So here this way, here it is this way. Here are other earrings. Let's pull them all out. I hope you had fun making this. It's really very easy, isn't it? And kind of fun. And I think you can play with it and make anything you like out of it. All right, so I hope you enjoyed this video. I think we'll be coming up with, some other designs using the 12 millimeter cushion cut or square Rivoli, because I just love the stone. I just think it's beautiful. I really want to make a bracelet who knows? I'm thinking of a ring too. All right, so I hope you enjoyed this video. Here, I'll pull in a little bit. Hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll see you on the next one. Take care. Bye-bye.